Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, I'm just gonna set up stuff. See, cool. Okay. Which Delphi. Okay. So today we're gonna be doing stuff, I guess. We'll be doing mushrooms. Not the kinds you're thinking about. I'm doing digital mushrooms. Games. Ah shit, the overlay's busted. Let me fix that. Hold up. Wait, what's this? Oh, that looks cool. All right, cool. Let's just jump right into it, I guess. I'm trying to network the mushrooms, network the mushroom baskets. We're not gonna be doing a long stream today. I'll just say that because I am leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving for Sweden. I'll be gone for quite a while. Gone for until the 6th, so that's like 3 weeks almost. Okay. So we add the mushroom data. Right, it's the, I think it's the pick. That, body happens. Right. Pick mushroom here. Unique world ID. It's the basket stuff, right? But where is mushroom data assigned? Here. I think here we have to. We'll just assign unique hash equals, I guess, spawn. Just do var hash equals spawn pause dot do string dot get hash code. there. Then we have the shroom basket sim. And then we have a for loop somewhere right here, where we iterate across. Okay, so we get the mushroom, and then we can make a new mushroom state. So we use the unique ID to get we have the unique ID, but then the mushroom state. Yeah, so here. Let's do this. Not return. Continue. And then if shrooms dot any room s dot unique hash is equals to the shroom dot unique hash, then we continue as well. Don't render I am doing good. Doing a shroom game today. Wrong music choice. Yeah, it's the last stream before I leave for Sweden, so we're going a bit hype, you know. It's not gonna be the longest stream today. I'll say that much. I got a pack and stuff as well. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have this the entire stream. It's a bit intense, but you know, we're going for it. It's supposed to be royalty free. I'm trying to use like before AI, so I'm searching when I turn on the music now. I go on YouTube and I search blah 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 copyright free before 2020. And I get results that aren't littered with AI music. Because, as it turns out, essentially 99% of lo-fi music now is just AI slop. It's not even made by people. Let's see. One second here, I'm looking. Just getting some messages here. Okay, so what I've added is the basket, which is revolutionary. The basket lets you collect the mushrooms. Now, I'm not sure it's going to work now because I've changed some of the code. But basically, you have basket here. You have the arm moving around. I changed so it's more like traditional first person. So it's no longer just tank controls. Feels a bit better. But let's see if we can pick up this mushroom. Nah. Oh shit, it's the wrong shroom. It added the wrong shroom. And it's too big. But you know, it added the shroom at least. It's just kind of big. Big shroom. Okay, let's see. What's the deal? What's the deal? Try to get mushroom from ID, because that was the wrong one. So let's see. That because the ID has to be unique. It might be I have to clear the lookup. That could be it. Maybe just on start. But this one, I don't think this one has execute in edit mode, so... Oh, it does. Okay. Shroom picking controller. I think it's the Shroom instance renderer here, and then on enable. Database. Build lookup. Or I guess. Let's see. Maybe this works. Hello, D4 Alt Core. Finally, you're here. You know, it's funny because we were just talking about you. We were thinking, hey, when's D4 Alt Core gonna show up? And now here you are. That's awesome. Hey. Shit, it's the wrong shroom. What's the deal? What's the deal? Wait. Were you looking at the unique ID? Ooh, okay, shroom. Something's not quite as it should be. Let's see here. So properties, mushroom properties, yeah. Wait, didn't I have like on validate? Oh, it's in the networked mushroom here. Right. Okay. Well, we need to show it then. Because I don't think it's being serialized in the way we want it to be. D4 Alt. I was playing Arma yesterday. I had a lot of fun. I was playing... I think maybe when I get back from Sweden, I'll do some Arma on stream, because while I thrive in Roblox, where I really thrive, well, that's in Arma. Yeah, they all have the same ID. Oh. But I think we'll change unique ID to unique hash. Don't add next. Chart. Mushroom data properties. Oh, okay. Right, the unique ID identifies the mushroom prefab, identifies the mushroom in the basket. I guess let's not call it unique hash. Unique basket ID. See, should work now, but it's still not transferring the scale correctly. The size modifier. I think I had, when I changed that, I don't think I moved over. I don't know if it moves the mushroom scale 1 to 1. So if I pick this, it becomes bigger. So really what we're going to do, view, because the view is independent of the scale, isn't it? As world scale. I just want to see, is it the same size? It seems to be the same size. Yeah, so that's good. Unreal Unity? This is Unity. Yeah, I've never worked in Unreal, so. Whoa, okay, seems like, scale is equal to vector1 times size modifier. And is the size modifier updated to... Let's see, on added mushroom gets called on the callback. What's up, Ark? What's up? How are you doing? How are you on this wonderful, wonderful day? Mushrooms dot add. I'm okay. I'm okay. Which one is better? I mean, if I had worked in both, I could probably give you an answer. But here's the thing. People are going to come from many different angles and with many different biases and tell you that one's better than the other, right? Most likely, the people telling you which one is better or worse has not worked enough in both to have an informed opinion on that. But not only that, anyone who says which one is better or worse, like, it's not a blanket statement you can make about any game engine. It's all depending on the context in which you use it. Say, for example, I'm working in a startup. And I've got a bunch of people working for me. And all of these guys are experts in Godot, right? They're experts in Godot. But I'm like, we're not going to use Godot because Godot is worse than Unreal and Unity. So that's why we're going to use Unity. Like, that's not a good decision to make, right? Obviously, the context there, because I have a team of crack devs who are experts in Godot, well, obviously I should be using Godot, right? That's an unrealistic context, right? You'd probably be hiring people based on the workflow that you set up before, but you still get the point. The point being that context shifts everything. So, thought I messed up my laptop but started working today after trying for the 6th time. Sweet. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Okay, so we've set the properties. I want to see where we set the size modifier. But yeah, be very careful what you listen. Like, the opinions of people online, that they'll, if you are out looking for an answer, being uninformed, you can have your opinion swayed by literally anyone. Because any person ever online will have an opinion on whatever you want them to have an opinion on. So if you go out and look for people arguing the fact that Unity is better than Unreal, you will find it. If you're looking for people arguing the opposite, you'll find it. Now, if you're uninformed, you'll end up in either one of those bins, and there you go. There's your answer. It's much better to just form your own opinion based on use, as opposed to forming it based on some amalgamated knowledge of whatever people you bump into online. Long story, clean everything and used wipes for the bottom of my laptop. Can only assume liquids got and temp fucked up my laptop 6 different ways to Sunday for a day. Yeah, sounds like a mess, dude. I hate having to open up any sort of tech. I just don't want to do it, man. Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, the scale is set there. I wonder if we can just have the scale not... You didn't open it? Okay, well, I mean, if you didn't have to open it, that's good. That's good. I dread having to open any sort of tech, but you know, I've used Mac products for a very long while, and generally their insides stay very clean. Because they just don't have much like empty space in there. But all my stationary PCs, so dusty. They get so dusty, and I have to open them up and I have to wipe out, and there's so much dust, especially collecting around the fans, and it's just, yeah, horrible. And it gets dusty so quickly. It's like really quickly. And I vacuum quite frequently in here, so I don't know what the deal with that is. Let's just try... EF dot local scale equals vector 3.1 times s. Is it the world scale? What if I do like that? Spend 2 hours. Yeah, it looks brand new. That's nice. I mean, it's always satisfying when you're done cleaning, right? That's the thing. It's always satisfying at the end. But actually doing it, that's another thing. Yeah, the thing with dust is that dust, like, the way it gathers up is, sometimes it becomes like fatty, you know. Becomes greasy, and then you can't get it off even with like just wiping it off, and that sort of stuff collects in fans. But even worse, kitchen fans. The horror of cleaning out a kitchen fan. I'll just say. How long have you been making the game? This game I started working on... When did I start working on this game? When did I start working on this? I think I started working on this game... like 2 weeks ago or something? I forget. Why is it like not paying respects to the scale? Same game? Depends on same as what? Fortnite finally released their Christmas update? I've never played Fortnite. That's my confession. I imagine it's... But wait. I don't get this. Like, it doesn't seem to... setting the global scale just doesn't seem to affect it somehow. Well, I don't know, like... When you say different game or same game or whatever, I don't understand the context of what that means, because I don't know what game you saw last. Does that make sense? Hi, my friends won't let me join them and are ignoring me, so I came here. Nice. I love to hear it. Let's see, world scale. Debug.log has world scale. Let's just see s.has world scale. My best friend ditched me long ago and has been jumping from girl to girl and haven't seen or heard from him since 10 years of friendship ended up like that. Maybe you should just do the same thing. Jump from girl to girl. Sounds like he's living the high life, huh? Yeah, has world scale is false, which should be true. I mean, it's equal to size modifier. Debug.log scale. That would be weird. Yeah, I mean, you'll notice far more friends coming and going when you get into, like, a job. Like, when you work a full-time job after you're done studying. Then we can talk about... Yeah, it seems like it's not... setting the size modifier correctly. Mushroom properties. Okay, so on added shroom. Mushrooms.add. Mushroom data properties. M from the network mushroom. Contains mushroom data. I always have my 3 friends who've been playing without letting me in for the past few days. Gee. You're gonna watch Fortnite? Wait. Debug.log scale. Let's just see here. Is it even passing the scale? Yeah, it passes a 0. But that one's not 0. Mm-hmm. My Discord friends are requesting my new profile pic. What's your new profile pic? Like, there are some 0 scale mushrooms, I know that. Ah, yeah, that's understandable that they would be questioning that. Very understandable. With big... Okay, yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm on your friend's side. I'm questioning it too, dude. That's too far. They shouldn't, because I've always had a Nico girl as my profile pic. What is the reason? So this was something I never understood. What is the reason for having anime girl profile pics? Let me ask you this. I'm waiting. If you saw a Nico girl IRL and she was flirting with you, what would you do? First of all, here's the thing. For a hypothetical to work, there has to be an amount of realism to it. You have to be able to accept the premise, right? Cosplay Nico girl? Okay, so you're saying if a cosplay Nico girl was flirting with me. Now, here's the thing, right? Why? Like, it's like even let's entertain the scenario. Let's say I enjoyed it, okay? Would I go out and have her as my profile picture? Like, I don't, you know, if there are people I find attractive in real life, I wouldn't put them as my profile picture, would I? I see it, I understand it with like someone you find cool or like funny, having them as your profile picture, but I never understood it with like publicizing what you find to be attractive. We're not talking about the profile pic, but we're talking about the justification for the profile pic, right? The justification for the profile pic sounds like it's because you find them attractive. You find the Nico girls to be attractive, correct? Yeah. Okay, well, that's the thing. I think that's the disconnect. Is that I've never seen it as something that, you know, displaying what I find to be attractive. I find, you know, it's more, I like to showcase what I find is fun or cool or silly or whatever. I'd like to keep the, how would you say, that other aspect in my personal life as opposed to on a profile picture. That's always been the thing for me. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But I think that's where I have the disconnect with the anime profile pics of sexy anime. They don't know I like them IRL. Do you often bump into cosplaying Nico girls IRL? Every convention. Yeah, I've never in my life been to a convention, so I've never had the chance to bump into any Nico girls, I suppose. It's not really a context I desire to find myself in either. But you know, respect. Respect. Yeah, lurking at the office. Sounds good, Britterball. Keep those balls brittle. Respect. Respect. Huh. You're back. D4 alt core. Yeah, this is the part where it doesn't transfer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the thing. When it gets picked, it still needs to be referenced in a networked fashion, because otherwise the size is not going to carry over. So I think we need to have the mushroom data and properties be separate, because we... Tricky. Okay. Obj.get component networked mushroom dot properties equals mushroom data dot properties. Because I don't know that it needs to have the mushroom data, right? Mushroom data prefab reference. No, so it does need to have it. But the properties... yeah, because we're going to be storing double data otherwise. How the frick do I do this? That's tricky. Like mushroom data. Because there's the mushroom, and then there's the networked mushroom. And when we pick up a mushroom, we pick up its data, which contains a prefab reference. Now, wouldn't it be nicer for that prefab reference to not just be a prefab reference, but an integer lookup into... I think that's how we have to do it. Prefab reference index. And don't add. Because then we can just copy this wholesale, right? I imagine you can synchronize this. Nested iNetwork structs. Oops. We can just do this. And then we do the database biome object placer. Let's see here. So this biome object placer can have a public instance render database. And then from that render database dot get prefab index rule dot prefab. I think that's going to be the key. And then here, and that's going to prefab. And then we have the lookup here. Which is int prefab lookup. Prefab, we can do that after here. Prefab lookup. New dictionary. And then database entries. Dot for each if, because every entry is unique. Prefab lookup equals, oh, this should just be or to 4. Dot prefab is equals to I. And then conversely, I mean, that would just look up in entries. Return prefab lookup prefab. If hello, the good doctor is here. Welcome. This is my last stream before I leave for Sweden for 3 weeks. I'll be leaving tomorrow, so you showed up at a good time. Okay, get prefab index, and then also get prefab, and then int index, return entries, index dot prefab. Not an int, it's a game object. Because then we can just wholesale save the and then object network mushroom dot properties. Don't have to do that. Mushroom data is equal to mushroom data. Is there another error here? Apparently. Type int. Oh, right, okay. So we just do here mushroom true manager. Is that just a global object? I think so. Public instance render. Okay. And this one is set where? Set there, sweet. And now the whole thing gets passed around in a networked manner. So we just need to assign the database in a couple places. And we should be golden. Room manager. So, and then we have the view sim, I think. Mushrooms, or basket sim, right? World scale. And then if as and this is being set, right? Looking good. Hey, let's try this out. And then we can see if, I mean, if this works, it should be fairly networked, honestly. Oh, Yeah, no. We did add something. We can do debug. Oh. Debug dot log world scale. No, okay. This doesn't get called. I think it's probably doing an early return somewhere. Okay, so it gets there, yeah. Render database. Try get mushroom from ID, unique ID. Debug.log unique ID. Any shroom here? Aha. 0. Yeah. So let's see. Unique ID. It's only ever being set there. Yeah, identifies the shared mushroom prefab in databases. See, that's the thing. We don't need that, do we? That should already exist, technically, as part of... try get mushroom from ID. So it looks through all the entries we don't have to do. So we can just do if... Yeah, get prefab, just like that. Get prefab, room, dot. And the mushrooms that we synchronize should not be mushroom properties, but mushroom data. Let's change that to try get prefab. Out game object. if entries right if I guess we'll do this. If index is less than 0 or index is greater than or equal to entries dot length, turn false, object equals null. There. Try get prefab. Outvar. Oh. Wait, what? If not, and we just return. Otherwise, we spawn the object. Called prefab. Oh. Okay. On validate. This shit's not necessary anymore. Because we build the lookups. Wait, unique hash. There. Fingers in a cross, as they say. Add shroom mushroom data. Data. There we go. That's an absolute win. Bob's your uncle. It's in. It's in. Ooh. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's the money shot. Clip this. I'm joking. This is not a clippable moment. By the way, the trees are flying. But there's a good reason for it. I assure you guys. Don't worry. But look at that. We got mushrooms bobbing around in the basket. And now we just got to find another different mushroom type. Mushroom. Room. Oh. Ooh, we got a new mushroom type in the basket. Let's find the last one. So these ones are kind of tricky to find. You know why? Because they're floating in midair. God damn it. They're floating in fucking midair. These ones up here. I call them the floaty mushrooms. They're rare. See? Right there, right there. So you have to like jump and grab. Wait. Okay, let's see here. Look at that. Grab. Gotcha. And then put it in the basket. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, it's in the basket. It's in the basket. It's just, is it? Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's in the basket. Okay, we got it. We got it. I need to make those mushrooms tilt upwards. They shouldn't be tilting down. At least not when they're on the floor, so to speak. I need more shrooms. But if I synchronize this, networked the basket. Let's see. Let's see. So we'll go to that, accept the sync. You know what they say. You know what they say? Shrooms before, no, bro, shrooms before hoes. No, bro, shrooms before bros. I forget. It's something like that. Something like that. I'm not a poet, so I don't know these things. But the poets speak about this kind of stuff all the time. See, I wonder. How many shrooms does a woodchuck chuck, but a woodchuck could chuck shrooms? Okay, I should be joining now. I'm in. Okay. Meet up at the same spot? Yeah, I'll see you there, bro. I'm coming. Don't worry. I'm on my way. I'll go full shroom mode. Don't worry, I'm coming. I'll see you at shroom set. That's what we call sunset in this game. We have lore, world building, they call it. Kick. Where the fuck are you? He's not in the same world as me. We're not even in the same damn world. What world am I in? Am I just in default? Best? There I am. Let's see. Does he have a... There are no shrooms. There are no shrooms in your basket. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I believe I know why. So we have the basket sim. We only listen for the deltas. Networked. Here, on added shroom. Spawned. Yep, that's the reason. Public void spawned. Override. On added shroom. There we go. That's the banger. And synchronize that. Added sync on spawned for baskets. Check in. Okay. That's the one. That's the money shot. This is going to be the one. I'm going to have to disconnect, sir. I'll be in right away. Don't worry. I'll meet you at Shroom Set. But sir, you haven't despawned. Where we're going, we don't need to respawn. That's a quote from Back to the Future. In case you guys haven't seen that movie. Classic. Okay. Okay. See? Let's see. Mushrooms in the bag. Mushrooms in the bag. He's got shrooms. Holy shart. It's networked. Wait. Let me see this in first person. Ooh, there's some nice shrooms you have in your basket there, sir. Seems like, cursor dot mouse dot current. Oh, there is no mouse. Sometimes it's mouse pad, I guess. Let's see. What was it called? Was it called shroom picking controller mouse dot current? If mouse dot current doesn't equal null. Else if, and then we also do if mouse mouse current not finding trackpad. Or is it trackpad? Maybe it's trackpad. Track. Unity. Input. Yeah, that's the one we need to do then, I guess. Make enable all pointer devices. There we go. And now we must synchronize. But first, we must delete this code. Okay. Synchronize. Fixed mouse input detection. Incoming. Boop, 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 boop. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me one shroom. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me two shrooms. Wait, hold up. I just need to check this out. Skadoosh. We're gonna see here if yeah, I think I need to just do deltas. Like within the, I don't think we can warp the cursor. Like that. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to move away from the like confined shit. Cause anyway, I mean I can see it. So there's a lot of these elf type fellas by the looks of it. So let's pick some shrooms, eh? Yay, let's pick some shrooms. Okay, let's see here. This shroom? There's no shroom there, but you see the shroom. Interesting. Plop. In my basket. Yeah, you see it in my basket, but you didn't see me drop it. Hmm. Interesting, but do you see me drop it? I can find a damn mushroom somewhere. Wait, I just need to see this. Okay, I think I've got like double data then. Up. Yeah, I'm still holding it. Okay. Cool, cool. See if we can change this basket. Add mushrooms dot add. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Um so we'll just do an on destroy there, I think. Player holder. So we'll just do this on destroy. Private void on destroy. On change holder. Ensure state holding state work. Fixed holding hold. Okay. Yeah, the problem I just wish there was a way to constrain the mouse input. But it is platform specific by the looks of it. But I feel like, yeah, maybe maintaining a digital cursor would have to be the way. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that for sure. So we just lock the real cursor, but maintain a digital one that represents the actual point. Let's do that. Okay, let's pick some shrooms, eh? What the fuck? Wait, so there were double shrooms there? It just didn't register. Plop. Oh. Okay, yeah. On destroy, on change holder. Needs to change implementation. So if changed, well, how would we know if it changed? I mean, we can assume on destroy. Yeah. If player holder, we'll just do that. Previous holder, it's cached. There we go. Sweet. Synchronize that. Yet another holding inconsistency fix. No, don't play. So, what's everyone gonna do in Christmas, huh? Got Santa Claus coming up. That's very cool. Everybody excited? It's the season, after all. Mwah. Plop. Still holding it. Chart. That was supposed to happen. Plop. Oh. Oh. That's why. We need to invert it. Last holding inconsistency fix. Come on, everybody, do the hamster dance. Okay, hosting. Wait. Join. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up the shroom. Plop. How do I look? Fella on the boat. How do I look? Am I holding a shroom? No. It works. That's beautiful. Hi, Back 2. That's a sequel to the movie Back. I'm just picking mushrooms, don't mind me. What I do, I'm just a simple guy. Can you third person? Yes, you can. It's gonna be more growth on the ground in third person. I'm just debugging some stuff. That's why the trees are flying too. Because I wanted to have a clear view of the ground. It's multiplayer. Let me bring over my guy. There he is. Look at him. He's coming. There he is. Hello. Hello. I'm here to pick mushrooms. I need to just find a mushroom. Where the fuck are they? Mushrooms? Okay, I found one. I found one. I'll join myself. Don't worry, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm almost there. Throwing dirt. I mean, you can throw mushrooms. So look now. Look, look. I'm just watching myself. Pick up a little shroom. Now I'm holding the shroom. And, of course, I can look around, you know? I could do that. I'm like, hello? Hello? And now the shroom is in my basket. You see? Look. There it is. Yippee! Shroom in a basket. And I got so many shrooms in my basket. So many shrooms. You wouldn't believe how many shrooms I got in my basket. Yeah, we got multiplayer. We got multiplayer. Multiplayer shrooming. Synchronized. Fully networked. Beautiful stuff. I think because this is working now, what I want to add is as you're picking up a mushroom, your character should like bend over with their arm out. So like if I go up to a mushroom, let's send my character forward here somewhere. Wait, Amjad? Amjad. Wait, I think I do remember you. I think I have a picture of you, Amjad. I have a picture of you. Hold up. Remember me. Remember me. Remember me. That's you, right? I'm pretty sure. That is you, right? I haven't gone crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Can't believe I remember that. Not gonna lie, that picture should be in the museum. Get that Mona Lisa out. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Its cultural relevance probably far outweighs the cultural relevance of the Mona Lisa, arguably, right? We're not gonna lie. It probably is far more culturally relevant than the Mona Lisa at this point in time. Mona Lisa had its time. It came and went. Now is the era of remember me. Who will be remembered? Remember me or Mona Lisa? I mean, remember me speaks for itself. It's built into the name. Of course, remember me is going to be. I think it's interesting because it takes inspiration from the Screaming Man also. The Scream, right? Of course, takes a lot of inspiration from the Scream in terms of the brush strokes and the lines. The line work is immaculate in this piece, and the way that the reflections are captured almost one to one. I mean, for sure, it's got this surrealism, but also like hyper realism at the same time. Truly is a piece of art. Um, Expressionism, romanticism, cubism. You can't really place it, can you? It goes beyond artistic style. I think it's its own thing. Some say MS Paint slop. I don't know what they're smoking, but maybe they're taking shrooms, am I right? I digress, I digress. Let's see. So we have the network thing. I wanted to have that you can bend over. We'll add an animation for that. Okay, let's see.
This is Fernando Miguel.
What?
He is really good at dancing.
Beefeens Alive has
Thank you so much for the follow. I think I may have a chance to hit my follower goal of 1 million before the end of the year. We're almost there. Yeah, I'll wear a hat for that. That deserves a hat. Guys, I think we can get 1 million before end of year. I really do. Wait, I want to wear the lard hat. Oop. Nah. Headphones. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Can we get to 1 million followers by end of year? Is that too much? I think we can do it. Just hit that follow button and let's go to the moon. Pick mushroom. So pick mushroom would be a blend state, I guess. I think we can reach 10 million. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think you're absolutely and totally right. I think we can reach 10 million easily. We just need guys to hit that follow button. Don't just follow, but follow through. Am I right? That's what I always say. Amjad agrees. Amjad agrees. But Amjad, you're not on Twitch. You gotta follow me on Twitch. Let's get 10 million. Okay, sorry. I get too hyped up about. There's 8.3 billion people on Earth. 1 mil is easy. Yeah, let's do the math. Let's do the math. So, 8.3 billion. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Divided by Twitch. Oh shit, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. right? So how many? That's nothing. 830, 111, 111. Isn't that 830 million? 8.3 billion. Isn't that another zero? Yeah. Is that 8.3 billion, right? Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Yeah, that looks solid. Solid math. So that's how many people on Earth got to follow the stream. That's easy. We can do this. We just gotta post on 9gag. I think if we post rally the troops and we start posting on 9gag and maybe we start posting on New York Times, we can buy an ad there or something. I think we got it in the bag. I think so. Maybe get an ad in Huffington Post. You know, my mom always told me, one day, kid, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna have 1 million followers on Twitch. That's what she always told me ever since I was a young little tyke. She always said that. He'd sing the lullabies about my Twitch followers to get me to fall asleep. And I knew that if I wanted to achieve this goal, there was only one way. And that way was to start game dev streaming, because I know that game dev streaming is the most riveting content on Twitch. Everyone loves it. Icenat. Who's that guy? Am I right? If he was doing game dev content, he'd be 10 times bigger. Let's see. Is there a bend over? Seems like no. Wait, pick mushroom. I think I had called it pick mushroom. Pick up camera. Pick up camera. No. Flap, fly, take damage, sit, run, kick, jump, hold, fly, flap, zoom. Okay, it's not there. Cancel. Oh, I didn't re-import. Pick mushroom. Found it. Pick mushroom. Ah, yes. Interesting. It shouldn't loop. It's an additive reference post, and the reference post is 0. Okay, sweet. Save. And then pick mushroom. There. Wow. Is picking. And parameters bool is picking mushroom. Although there should be a plain old simple bend, shouldn't there? No, because the bending only occurs when you're picking the mushroom. Let's start like this. And only exit when it's false. There. Nice. Speed, motion. By the way, I'm drinking chocolate milk. Oh, hell yeah. You know, chocolate milk, they say if you have chocolate milk more than 3 times in your lifetime, your chance of risk of cancer goes up by 1,000,000%. That's crazy. I don't know who said it, but I heard they say that stuff. That's crazy. Can't believe the stuff they say these days. Oh, wow, I drink it all the time and wonder how do I not have cancer? Yeah, I wonder the same thing, buddy. Same thing. Player controller. Simulate animation. Is picking mushroom. Or is it just is picking? What did I call it? Animator. Is picking mushroom. Okay, sweet. That looks good. I like balanced animation graphs. It's so nice. Gives me goosebumps. Okay. But I wonder, is picking mushroom? Oh, not true. Hey bro, I know a fast way that you can make money way a lot first. You need to make a plushie that's just like you, and they can also say, I already have plushies. Penguin plush, penguin heist. I already made a bunch of plushies. See? I made a bunch of them. Ow. State not has state authority and state is actively picking. I think you just made that think the Penguin Heist is the owner of the game. Just I made Penguin Heist. What do you mean? Or Can you add mobs like a freaking dinosaur that's bigger than the whole planet? I can't do that, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bigger than the whole planet. I just can't do that, man. I'm sorry. Sorry. There's no way. Dinosaurs aren't real. They got expired, yeah, like old milk, like an old milk carton. Or maybe they just quit their job of eating people or just eating stuff and eating raw stuff. Yeah, one of those two. Probably true. Probably true. 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 Facts, spitting facts. Added. What's it called? Added bending over animation for you know, it's like they say, the bigger the shroom, the bigger the goon. You guys heard about that 6-7 thing? That's crazy. That two numbers. That's wild. Can't believe it. That stuff's crazy. Really makes you think. These kids. Okay, I'm gonna see if the bending animation works. I'm gonna pick up this shroom. Oh no, he's okay. I know. He's bending over a bit too quick for my taste there. It's a bit too rich for me. I think it's interrupting source. Can't transition to self. No. There he is. Look at him picking. I picked the mushroom. Wait, I'm just gonna record this real quick. Wait, what do I have? Shift print screen. Yeah. Wait, I'm just gonna send that away. Pull up. I think I'm just gonna That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Really makes you think. Okay. So now we have the bend animation. We got the basket synchronized. Fixed animation graph prevent bend looping. I mean, we could change the bending to not be a bend animation per se, but rather like a loop of the muscles moving or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. There's no music playing, is there? The freaking hyperdrive boogie shit. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. This is AI, but you know, AI music is the future. That's what they say. I'm just gonna take a quick break. Go recharge. I'll be back. We'll do a little bit more, but then I think it's not long until the stream is over. But yeah, we'll do a little bit more. I think. What do I want to add? What do I want to add? We've got the picking. I think honestly, at this point, probably we want to do where's the basket? I don't know. Oh, right. I think it's when you add stuff to your character, then it becomes, then you get a basket. I think that's how I did it. Anyway, I'm going to be right back. See you guys soon. All right, I'm back. Hey, Mole, are you still there? Is there a point to me answering your question? Okay, so what topics in maths do you need for programming graphics? So, first of all, linear algebra. You'll need to know matrix multiplications, vector math. You'll need to know, preferably if you're doing shader work, you'll want to know, yes, a lot of different like mathematical functions. So like sine, cosine, tan, and sort of how they operate visually, not just like how they operate on numbers, but just like visually, how do they look and how can you leverage those? You'll want to be able to work with like normals. So for example, here I'm doing normals to see like what the angle is. Just vector math in general, right? But it's really vector math combined with matrix multiplications, 2D matrices. At least less math than electrical engineering. It's probably, I mean, I would imagine electrical engineering, you're talking, I don't know enough to say, but you're mostly working with like circuits then, right? Because a lot of computer graphics, it's not so much like you have to double check your work to ensure it's 100% correct. Even with graphics, if it's slightly off, it's still a visual representation, so it doesn't have to be one-to-one. But I'd imagine in electrical engineering, it does have to be on point. And if it isn't, well, that's probably not too good, you know? Can I go into computer and firmware through electrical because I want to choose between electrical and computer engineering? I don't think like it's not really. You can go into computer through any path. Like most of what you learn in computer science is logical thinking, i.e., when you do A, you get B as an outcome, right? That's what coding is. That's what every single computer program is. When you boil it down, A does B, you know? And now you compose that to A does B, but if C, then do D, and if not C, then do E, and so on and so forth. That's what a computer program is, right? And so that's the founding part of what computer science is. It's very just procedural, step by step. Then you get other stuff, like you get recursion, which is like methods calling themselves, loops. You get different data structures like graphs, binary trees. And then you get, like specific applications of computation. So like computer graphics, or maybe you have like big data, statistical analysis and stuff like that, AI. These are like applications of computer science. But really, like what computer science is just how you compute things efficiently. Because again, I've said this many times on stream, but the concept of a computer existed even before the personal computer existed. A computer was a person who sat down at a desk and was writing down and crunching numbers in their head. And you had factories full of these people, aka computers, sitting around there. And what made them good at their job was how quickly they could compute things, right? That's what decided how good they were. Then somewhere down the line, these computers, you know, they got switched out by personal computers or digital computers. All of a sudden, those computations they did were now able to be automated. But still, what we realized is that a processor only runs at so many gigahertz. There are only so many computations we can do. And I would say the founding, or like the foundational concept of computer science is Big O. Big O. Because what does Big O talk about? Well, Big O is the rate at which a function grows in either space or in time. And this is what binds us from like the Big O of a function or a method or whatever is what prevents us from doing infinite computation, right? So if you have like find an element in a list, if you have a list of size n, well then to find an element in the list, it will take n steps, right? At worst case. If you have a list that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? These are the elements in a list. What's the worst case scenario? If you're trying to see if the number 5 exists in this list, how many steps would that take? Well, that would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Because we can only check at the end and see, oh yeah, 5 is in this list. If you wanted to check if 6 was in the list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is not in the list. If we wanted to check if 1 is in the list, well, that's 1 step. But again, as the list grows towards infinity, Big O tells us that the average amount of times that, you know, we're going to have to check this list to see whether or not an element exists in it is basically n over 2. So it's Big O, n over 2. And Big O actually, what Big O does is it removes the constant. So it's Big O over n. And this is, you know, analyzing methods that you're writing, functions that you're writing, and problems that you're solving for, and seeing at what rate does this grow? What values am I working with? How long am I taking to solve this problem? That is like the foundation of all computer science, right? Understanding Big O, without it, you're not a computer scientist, right? Because what does a computer scientist do? They compute things. And computation is only relevant if it's doable within a reasonable amount of time or with a reasonable amount of resources. That's what AI is showing us. The reason people are willing to spend money on AI is because they see that essentially the Big O of AI computation so far scales almost linearly with the amount of GPUs you throw at it. But that's another discussion. But again, you have like some methods that grow like this. Big O n is squared. That's not good. Big O of n log n is a typical one, n, logarithm of n. That's a classic. That's quick sort. Sorting a list can be done n log n. Binary search is O of log n. So like searching through a list, seeing whether it contains an element. So because you can do things to the list, right? If you just store this list as a list in memory, well, you're going to have to take n steps, worst case, to go through the entire list. Now, you can sort up the list in a binary tree, where you can have like larger elements to the right and smaller ones to the left. You can have like 3, 2, 1, and then you can have 4, 5, or you could do 4, 5, balance it a little bit, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, I mean, the point being that there are many ways that you compute the same problem and do it differently at different speeds. And that's why they need computer scientists. That's why. Because every problem, given infinite amounts of compute, infinite amounts of time, is solvable, right? Every single problem. But we don't have infinite time. We don't have infinite resources. And that includes money, includes just the raw processing power available to us on planet Earth. And so we need to compute problems efficiently. So that's the case. That's the case. Now you have some computer science lore. Make of that what you wish. Okay. What's the instant screenshot do? Interesting. So, what was I gonna do? Yeah, no problem, Mo. Just listen to you while making some ability icons for my warrior class. Nice. So I'm thinking, let me see if this works visually. If I pick a bunch of mushrooms, right? I'm gonna pick a bunch. Kind of satisfying to pick them, but I think the picking time is a little bit too long for the mushrooms. So I'm gonna decrease the picking time. But let's see if we can find... So my thinking goes, I guess maybe we need to separate the mesh then. If we have the mushrooms like this, okay, Imagine for 1 second now. Basket is there. Okay. Cool. Move it out. So then when you go into like store view, you'd bring this up close to the face. I mean, that looks freaking wacky, dude. Let's see. Can we change the camera here? Like, is that a very wide field of view? Kinda is, isn't it? But like there, you have the mushrooms and now your hand is there and you're digging through and you're like... "Warp, warp, 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 warp." I don't know, I don't know. It's weird when it's so close, but at the same time we need it to be close because otherwise... It's the damn visual representation. Show the whirlwind icon art. Yes. I think the basket can be not so tall. Where do I see? Do you use Blender? I do, I do. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Check it out. Oh, hell yeah. Wait, I guess you have to see it from a distance, right? That's the key. Let's get the real impression. See, that's about world. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Enough contrast, you can see the wind. Looks like a whirlwind to me. I think it's also like, because no icon exists in the 1 second. But yeah, it's always good to have them in the context of other icons, and that's always what when I do, like, you know, if I do like thumbnails or something for a video, or like a thumbnail for like a Steam page. I like going on to the Steam page and dropping in the files. But I don't know how many icons you have. But that's always, like, to me, it's not just the in a vacuum icon, but it's also like in the context of all the other icons. Which could help in the design process too, if you just throw it in there sometimes. You just see like, okay, yeah. Yeah, I never do manual icons like that. I'm lazy. I'm too lazy. Yeah, definitely don't use ChatGPT. I mean, I would say not even for placeholders, because the problem is when you use ChatGPT even for placeholders, it still ends up feeling very AI art. It's hard to get that like out. Dutch. Wait. Typical first person game FOV. Consoles usually use 60. Really? Oh, 1 second. I'm getting a phone call here. Yeah, the ChatGPT icons. Okay, I kind of like the lower FOV, honestly. I feel like it's just when you get used to high FOV, you just dig it, man. You just dig it. But maybe I'm gonna try 70. Bump it up. Because I don't like the feeling of like, oh, I'm playing Quake, you know? But like this, I can get into. I think if we move the... If I separate the mesh part, the handle... I separate the handle. Set that as a child, then I can just disable that when the... Or use a separate renderer on it or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Do you remember me? Yeah, I was gonna... I would pull up the image of you that I have, but... another guy showed up in stream and said, asked if I remembered him earlier, so I don't want to repeat that. It's a one per stream kind of thing. But I had it pulled up. Right there, see? I'm sorry, Potion. I'm sorry. Hello, KS4P. Welcome. By the way, guys, we're trying to hit a follower goal of 1 million before New Year's, so let's go. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. We're gonna try to get to 1 million before New Year's. We're almost there. I think B to inspect basket makes sense. But let's think here. So the basket is part of the left hand. I think you forgot. I did not forget you, KS4P. I did not. I remembered you, in fact. This is tricky. This is tricky. I mean, I guess the thing is, this basket arm if I have a shroom picking view, shroom camera, right? The shroom picking controller. So how's everyone doing? You all excited for Christmas? You all hyped? It's Christmas time. Header basket. Private. Follow. Viewing basket. Okay, and then late update, handle arm animations, and then if viewing basket, handle basket viewing. I guess handle basket viewing is not an if, but a when. First room type game. Hey, I tagged you on Discord, Aaron. I got the response. Here. Yeah. So you could contact them. I think if you explain yourself as a hobby preservationist, I think they might sympathize with that, but yeah. Can you show us your history? My history what? I come from a lineage of Vikings. That kind of history? I'm saying they might sympathize if you percent, because they're asking here if you could let us know about the old app ID/app and how you are involved. And you could say that you're a games preservationist and you're trying to preserve the game's multiplayer. Maybe they're sympathetic to that, maybe they're not. I mean, they are a for-profit company. Maybe there's like a breach of trust because it's, you know, but unless you explicitly contacted the owners of the game previously, in which case you could probably sway their opinion. I don't think they would let you do it actually without the permission. Control H on Google. Let's see. My history is typical first-person game FOV, at that of Fish, The Scream, Input System, Mouse, Hyperdrive Boogie, Funky Jazz, Flappy Bird, Katamari Damacy, Undead Asylum, bunch of... I was on this NoClip website. Dancing Penguin GIF. Yeah. So on consoles, around 60 apparently. PC games, 90 to 100. But I feel like when you're in the 90s, look at this. Like, it's starting to feel like you're playing Quake. It's a bit too much. Bit too much for my... Search poor? Wait, let me see. I'm gonna search poor. P-O-R. I searched KS for... I searched poor, but it auto-corrected to KS4SP as an idiot. That's interesting. Autocorrect. POR autocorrects to KS4P as an idiot. That's crazy. This autocorrect update for Windows is rather... It is interesting. It's very interesting. You know, this KS4P guy, he's got Pornhub on a macro. He doesn't even type it into the search bar. He does Windows H, and it just brings him there instantly. He's such a master gooner. My app ID hasn't changed for Penguin Heist, no. You could probably hook into that if you tried. I mean, the app ID is just, I could just send it to you, plain text. Like, I mean, if you want to do a... I'll say in the chat in Photon that it's, well, it would be from a games preservation angle. Try it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just have it, so, you know, it wouldn't really matter. I just have the free 20 CCUs. It's not like I'm paying anything for it anyway, you know? Just there. I feel like maybe having the I feel like it's the effort I have to put into it though. It is. Like I'll show you what I mean. We might not have to do any reparenting. Like if we do this, look, we're in this mushrooming mode. Camera goes down. Oh, let's just there. And now pause. So when you enter the basket view mode, basket arm would move up to a set rotation as if picking up the basket, right? Basket would slide up into some specific view where it can be seen. Yeah, starts in the ship. That's actually where I got the idea for Detective Penguin. I had the ship start for Puffin game already. I wanted to do a tutorial on the ship. I just did it in Detective Penguin instead. Yeah, because I mean, if it slides like that, it's probably fine. It's just gonna disconnect me now. Is this game optimized? Like texture isn't loading when you don't look at them? Yeah, so that's the reason why you'd want to use a game engine like I am, because it does all these optimizations for you automatically. So one, for example, is called frustum culling, where it doesn't render stuff that's not in view of the camera, right? Just like outside of, if the camera is a V cone shaped whatever view, then anything outside of that cone does not have to get rendered. Unless there's casting shadows, in which case you need to render it somewhat. Second way you can optimize it is through occlusion culling, because of course, not everything in view of the camera can actually be seen. So in this case, for example, this is a very plain case. You'll see there's a forest here. The moment I'm behind this mountain, I'm looking at the forest, right? The forest is technically behind the mountain and in view of the camera, but the mountain is blocking my view. In that case, it would also be automatically optimized to not render those trees. But of course, any good optimizations is not something you'd see in the first place. You will also notice that as I drift away from the terrain, the resolution of the terrain decreases. This is also quite subtle, but more visible in other parts. I think maybe it's not visible in scene view. I think it might retain the high resolution in scene view. But in gameplay, there is a in and out dropping of like the resolution of the terrain. Textures get down sampled at a distance, so you don't have to keep as many high res textures in memory at all points. Also, to like reduce the visual flickering and weird artifacts you can get from like distant high resolution textures. What else? Yeah, I'm rendering from a less distance. So like these trees here, you notice they have the leaves, but as I back up, they stop rendering. Similar shadows. As I'm at a distance, the shadows come in and out. That's also because shadows are expensive to render. So a couple of automatic optimizations just built into the engine. Very nice, very beautiful. But this game is not visually demanding, so most of the optimizations are done in code, not in like not in a graphical sense so much. I mean, there are optimizations that I had to do because we're rendering so much foliage. Do you remember 21st night of September? What is your plan on this project? Will it be playable? Yeah, it's gonna be released on Steam is the idea. We need NPCs. There are NPCs. Back in my day, a few months ago, he was working on Penguin Springs, but he's waiting for GTA 6 to release so he can take notes. Yeah, that's the idea. I feel like this game is way smaller scope than Penguin Springs. That's just a little fun thing to do. Um, when will be corn reveal? Interesting. That's interesting. Um, I'm just responding a bit here. We're having some mushroom discussion. Can you off that fake background or your penguin? There is no fake background. This is real. This is a real background. Anything that is said otherwise is slander and a lie. So be careful. Ba, 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 ba. Will you make a vibrator into your game? That's the, you have the, I don't know what the, yeah, that's the worst thing I've ever seen, guy. The fuck. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done with the stream today, guys. This was a great stream. I think this is the best way to end it. I'm gonna take a 3-month vacation. Not 3 month, 3-week vacation. I'm going to Sweden tomorrow. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm sorry I got a little bit distracted here towards the end, but then we got the vibrator comment and that 3-year vacation. Sorry, yeah, I should correct myself. But yeah, the vibrator comment, sure, that pushed me over the edge. I wasn't gonna take a vacation, but then I got the vibrator comment. Now I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks. So if anyone asks, it's KS4P's fault that I disappeared. But yeah, thank you all. It's been good. It's been fun. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. What else? What else is Merry Fishmas, Merry Pingmas. I'm gonna have to end the stream because of that vibrator comment. The vibrator comment was way too far. Pingmas, yeah, Merry Pingmas. And I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. I'll be back on January 6th. What January 6th? That's the day of the insurrection. What was it? The White House. I'll be doing that myself. I'll be live streaming it, breaking into the White House, taking it over. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, see you guys on January 6th. Have a wonderful, wonderful New Year, and Merry Pingmas and Newtmas. And shame on you, KS4P, for that vibrator comment. You made me want to take a 3-week vacation. Over and out. Over and out. Newtmas, Merry Newtmas to you all. Oh, it's Newtmas. Jingle Newt, jingle all the way. Jingle Newt, jingle all the way. Hey, what's that? The penguin laid an egg. Hey, dun 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 dun. I'm trying to think of more songs. What silent fish, all is fish, all is fish. I'm trying to, I don't know, it's not mixing with the end credit music, but you guys get it. Yeah, Merry Newtmas, Merry New Year, Happy New Year. Have a good one, guys. That's it. That's all for me. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Roblox.